Hello, welcome in today's video. So in today's video, we covered a number of things, and I'm really happy of what we have managed to cover up to now, because at least right now we can look at the students. Finally, we can see them here. You can see we have at least 4 students right now, and with their details. Now I'm just going to demo for you what we did, and we did a lot of things. As you can see, finally we made the student, and there was a lot which was required for us to reach this step. But let me just go ahead and demo for you what we managed to do in this today's episode. So if you click on add student, it will just of course take you to the form where we can create the student. But as you can see, to create a student, you need a parent, you need a class, and you need a stream. So previously I showed you that we can create actually a class and the streams, okay, and then we can just have this stream. And the nice thing is, if you have like senior 1 selected and you go here, you have only streams for senior 1. If you go to senior class 6, you just go here and you see the streams for 6 are the ones which show here. So it was really nice. I love this, and there was no need of prefetching. Actually, we did a nice technique and it could just do this. So now we can just like first of all show you how we created the parent, because I actually showed you how to create the streams. It is very easy. If you come to this, you see that we have already some streams here, okay, and this data is coming actually in database with the actual students. As you can see, for instance, in senior 1 we have 3 streams with 3 students. We have class 6 which has 3 streams with 1 student. You can click to see this, and this student is actually in 6A, and so we can just go ahead and create another student like in 6B. But before that, I just really want to show you the parents. So if I click on add a new parent, we can just go here and create a new parent. I will just use a fake filler here, and it's going to be Mr. Ignatius. Is a father, male, date. You can just choose any nationality you want. I'm just going to put him in Kenya. Just select Kenya like this, and then you can just go here and select all these other details. You can add the details. Okay, so let me just go ahead and save. I'm just going to output all the details I need. I'm just going to go here and save. Okay, so you can see successfully created, and Ignatius is here right now and is a father to this kid or whoever. And now if we just go back to adding the student, if we just go back to the student directory here, and we are adding a new student, now we can just select this parent. So you just go do this and select a parent, and you can see Ignatius is here, and just like put in classics, and let's put in B. So we are creating this student, and we are giving them to be in class senior 6, class 6B. You can just also say here Kenya, why not? And then of course you have said this, and then we have the birth certificate number and all these other ones. I'm just going to leave them the way they are for now. Maybe registration number, you can just like have this registration number which says like this, BUG 2024 maybe 001. So you can just like have this kind of naming, whichever naming you want to give, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and save. Okay, so the student was created, and first of all you can see now that the registration number is here. You can see the class is in class 6B, and you can view more details, and you can see all the details, the student ID, the email, gender, all the details for this. You can view them from here, and this is really nice. Now if we go now to the classes, okay, If we go to class, not staff, academics here, and let's go and see. Now you can see class 6 has 2 students now. If I click there, you can see there is now we have one who is in 6B. Okay, so all these now right now they are interconnected and everything is working the way we expect. Like really at this point I'm feeling really nice that we are working on the MVP to work. At least we can admit students, we can give them classes, we can assign them to their parents, and now we can just go on and go on now into we just in the next video of course we'll see the teachers and everything. But so far so good, I really like it. Okay, so this is what we covered in this video. Of course, we have more all the features as you saw them for the search. For instance, if I want some like Cairo hood, I can just come and say hood, and you can see this is already here. So like the searches and everything, like these ones are all working. Since we're using a reusable data table, so this already works out of the box. And this works for the teacher, for the parents, students, and even other models. They will be using the same data table, which is really nice. Okay, so if you're happy and want to continue with me, let's just jump in and let's get started. Hello, welcome in today's episode. So today is episode 7 and we are back. So in today's episode, we have a lot to work on. Okay, we have a lot to work on. But before we start, I have a couple of things I want to say. I want to say thank you. Thank you to those ones who have really supported my work, be it liking the videos, be it subscribing, sharing the videos. Thank you so much. And I want to give special thanks to those ones who have went and purchased the source code, and really my power and the motivation also can also be empowered by that. Really seeing people appreciating what you give them, it is really nice, and I'm so grateful to have you guys, and your support means a lot to me. First of all, I just want to say that when you buy the source code, you will find the page looking like this. I'm trying to separate the Next.js code and the Node.js API and the mobile app. There will be 3 folders, and each folder is going to be having a respective code for that platform. For instance, when you open the Next.js, you will have all the source code for different episodes. You have for episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3 and 4, and then from this episode 3 and 4, we'll be getting the source code for each episode, because now this matters a lot. So even the API, you will see that we started on the API in episode 5, I believe. So you will find when you scroll down, you also find the Node.js API source code for the School Pro. You'll find you have this, and then you have this one. And once again, I want to thank those ones who have gone ahead and purchased the source code. It really helps. So yeah, that is one update. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this one. I don't need it. And I'm also going to go ahead and close this one. So another update I want to start before I start is that I'm going to be actively adding some components here in the simple UI, and the reason being is they simplify our life. They simplify when we're just like in the future, when you're making bigger builds, there are some components we don't have to struggle with all the time. Okay, be it doing something that we have worked on for a big time, we don't have to struggle for it all the time. Okay, the only thing we have to focus on is writing the more logical parts, and the less logic parts like the UI. I'm going to be constantly putting them here, and I'm putting them here so that you can also, I would have made this a private thing, or I put it in some other place where I can access it alone. I put it here specifically for you guys. Now, I put those components I find really important, and the reason being is that I use them all the time. I don't actually mind whether people are using them or not, because I constantly use them in different applications that I work on. And the one that I published yesterday was the rich text editor. So this rich text editor, as you all know, it is not easy to get a nice editor. We had the query editor that we have been using in most of our applications, but I feel like query editor is still lacking somehow. So I created this editor specifically to look somehow mature and relatable when like you're typing in Microsoft Word. You see it is a really nice editor, and most people who are coming from that word, our clients, they have been using like Microsoft Office. They have the comfort of typing things really nicely. So I created this editor specifically for that, and it's built on top of TipTap, and it is really nice. As I can tell you, it is nice. I put in really good work, and still I've always said, if you find in any of these applications I build, like there is someone, I think thanks to goes to Isaac, when you see some like something to improve, you can always inbox, or you put in our community. I have a big community of WhatsApp, and in that community is helping each other, celebrating other people's achievements. When someone builds his website or does his product, we always want to go there and support. What I discourage is just like really doing like scamming other people and advertising unnecessarily. I always just like block and remove those people to make the community still safer for other people to enjoy it. But otherwise, these components, always check out these components and check out the source code. I will just always just like put here, for instance, for the installation you need, and even the usage you can see here, but this is the actual component. So, and we'll also use it, I guess, in this project when just like maybe implementing like the blogs. We'll use this editor for blogging, and that's why actually I specifically created it for blogging. And another thing maybe I want to say is also, I'm also, as I'm moving around the internet, I'm collecting some tools that I also normally use. Okay, I keep on like collecting some tools, so you can just always just like check here. I will be adding some different tools for different things, not necessarily that they are maybe do what, but if I find a nice tool, I will just always leave it here, and you can come and check it on it. For instance, I use this one for my code snippets when I'm posting and other things. I use Mantin to look at beautiful UIs, and then maybe I can create that UI. So you can just like check through and also see what is there. So yeah, that is the update that I wanted to say. And so I'm just going to start, and also in this video we'll also try to, I think, we'll try to get our API up and running on the today online. I will deploy the API so that now we have this app running online. So the first thing I want to start with is this. If you just look at this, you can see like the school and this whole thing here. This is not looking really good. So I just want to change a little bit. Like I want to get this this component, I want to change it a little bit. I want to join this name and the email together. In fact, I'm just going to join the name and the school together, and then the email and the phone together. So I can easily do that by going in our project. I will just go ahead and create a component. Okay, I will just go ahead and just create here a simple component. You can just go back inside you can just go back inside these contact columns, and now we have this sort of column. I will just duplicate this and I will show you what we are going to do. So instead, what we have there, the name. So here I'm just going to add this, even if I leave the accessor key and everything like this. One thing you can do is you can create a component here. Okay, you can just do this, and then you can just go ahead and say return, and then we can return a new component, for instance a div. Okay, and in this div here I can first start and I put the full name. Okay, I can just go ahead and add the full name. Let's say I'm just going to say h2, sorry, h2 here, and I can also say const user, and I'm just going this is going to be contact, sorry, contact is going to be raw, so raw dot original. Okay, original, just like this. The actual data of this contact lies here on this original here. So here it means I can just go ahead, I put something, for instance I can just go and I say contact, and I say dot. Okay, and you can see we have all this. So I can say full name, and then below it I'm also going to put a p tag. Just going to put a p tag here, which is going to be having contact dot school, so contact dot school, something like this. Now I can just go ahead and remove this so that we work on that. So if I just go ahead and do this, let's see what it's going to do. I'm just going to wait and see that. Okay, so you can see now this and this here. Okay, we have some errors. Enter the view children with the same key. Okay, just going to change that key. Okay, so you could just come here and they say, and by the way, if you're just like doing it like this, now the accessor key is not a big deal. So you can just like put like, even if we put like user, it doesn't actually really matter. So I need to make this one to really turn out. So you can just say class name. Okay, I'm just going to say font medium, and then for this one I'm just going to say class name. I'm just going to give it text sm, just like this, and you could also just say font. We have font, there is text muted. I think I'm just going to try text muted foreground, something like this, and I'll just come back and check. Okay, so then for the name, we can also say the full name to be consistent. We can first convert it to lowercase. So if I just say dear dot to lowercase, so that I can just use capitalize on here. So you can just say, sorry, I can just say capitalize. Okay, so that the name looks like capitalized on each of these letters. Doesn't seem to be working. I don't know why. Text transform capitalize. Okay, I could just come also say here, for instance, that const but that's the same thing. Okay. um I'm wondering why the capitalize that didn't work. Okay, and then this something is not quite right. Even this doesn't look like small. Maybe I just try extra small. Let me just go ahead and one is an API, so just going to say extra small, and we see if that one makes some change. Yeah, it really makes some change, and you can see here they have capitalized it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I will do the same thing for the email. So I'm just going to remove this. So I want to join also email and phone in the similar way. Okay, so here I'm just going to duplicate this, and this can be email, phone, and then I'm just going to go here. I will have the contact dot email, so you can just have here the email, and then here you can have the phone. I don't know which one would be more useful, but you might find the phone is more important to the person. I'm not sure, but I just like try to join these, and I'm just going to go ahead now remove for the school, so we don't need this. This is how we can fix and add, and then also these individual ones, we don't need them. Just like to work on the UI to be somehow exquisite, instead like try to be good with the space we have. Okay, and now for the purposes of this one cannot be capitalized. Instead, we're just going to we cannot capitalize this. It has to be in small letters. In fact, we could just say try to put this in lowercase. You can just go ahead and just say to lowercase, because the emails are always in lower cases, so that will be really understandable. So as you can see now, the UI is more now exquisite. You can read these really with ease instead of just like having them squeezed. This makes much more sense. Okay, so great. I'm just going to, so today what we want to really work on, last time what we did, we worked on the not students, we worked on the classes. So under academics, we went ahead and worked on classes and streams. It was really something that was nice. So today we really want to work so hard that we work on the teachers and the students. As you just go back to the student, one thing that we are remaining with right now, if I just go back here and I try to create a new student, you see like at least right now we need to work on did we work on parents? We need to work, so we worked on the class stream. Okay, so right now one thing that is still remaining and that we need to work on really is actually the parent. Okay, so we need to work on the parent because at least we have the classes. In fact, let's first fetch these classes here and the streams, and I will also see if we can just like fetch, if we just say senior one, and then maybe see if we can just like fetch these ones. I don't know how we are going to do that. Okay, So here I'm just going to go ahead and select where we have these classes. Let's fetch them since we have the classes, the actual classes in the students. So I could just go back to where we have students new here. So in this, we just go ahead and fetch all the students. Okay. And in fact, what we would do also, I think, would be fetching the classes and then we get the streams from them. Okay. Either you could just like say, if you select this one, we'll just go ahead and run this. Okay, like if I select senior 1 and then like it goes and updates this one, we'll have to see how this one is going to work, like on updating this. One of them has to be really manual. We'll have to see how we have to do that. We'll have to somehow change this logic to our advantage. But let's just go and see what we can do. Okay. Okay, so in here, I'm just going to go ahead and get the classes. So here where we have these new admission tabs, I will just going to say const classes is equal to await. I think this get maybe all classes. Yeah, get all classes. I'm just going to change this one to async. Async function and get classes by default. Let's give it empty array. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pass this into where we have our forms. So we have the single student form, which is this one we want. I will go ahead and pass in the classes is equal to classes. Okay, so you can just get this and go to the single student form, and I'm just going to add these on the props we have here. So you can just say these classes, for them they will be required and they are of type of. Now we could just see if we already have these types. So you can see we have a class here, something like this. You can check on it, and this is exactly what we want. And then we just come here and we say classes. So we have access to the classes. Now we have to go ahead and see these classes. We need to create these classes here. So you can see we have these kind of class here. So the easy way is to say, for instance, we can just rename this. Okay, I could just rename this maybe classes data, something like this. Okay, or we could just say classes with streams. Okay, and just going to say classes, maybe just going to rename it okay, let me just leave it as classes. I'm just going to name this one as classes class options, maybe class options, something like this. I can still update where we have this error here, just update class options. That will be good. So going back here to these classes, let's see how you're going to work on them. So the classes themselves wouldn't be a problem, right? Getting this kind of pattern is not hard. We only need like a label and a value. Okay, so I'm just going to come here I could just say this is going to be classes, like the actual classes. Okay, and then I say dot map, so just going to map through these, and I have a single class. And then I could just go ahead and we can return, we are returning label and value. So label is going to be class dot I don't know what I have done. So if I just do here class, and from this, okay, you just want to return an array, let's say label is going to be class dot dot name, is it? Okay, maybe this, am I the one just like naming this? Supposed to be title something. I wonder why it is behaving like this. Let's just say this as item dot. Okay, so I think we're just naming the word class as is a reserved keyword. So and then here just going to have the value, which is going to be item.id. Okay, so this goes back to actually what we have as this. You have all the classes, right? We have all the classes the way you see them. The problem now is going to be when I click on class 6, like I would want really like this one to update. Okay, I would want to re-render the streams. Okay, like if it's class 6, then the streams would be like 6A, 6B, 6C, something like that. So currently, even if we try to use the selected class, we could just like use the selected class ID, and then we try to get the stuff, but it will not update. We could do something like this. We could just say const. So from the selected class, we could just say const selected class ID, or we could just say const class ID is going to be equal selected class dot ID sorry, dot value. So selected class dot value. So this one would give us and by default we can just give this an empty. So this would give us a class ID. Okay, and then from that we could just actually go ahead and compute for instance const streams. Okay, streams would be, I would first go ahead and just say find. So the streams, you would first go use this class ID and you say classes. Okay, classes dot find. So you could just go ahead and find a class. Okay, item dot ID equal to class ID. So this will give us the thing. So here we have also streams, which doesn't make sense. So from this returns back one item, right? So you could just go ahead and say I'm just going to say streams data. Okay, all these ones, I could just say options. This one becomes streams. So we just get this one would return back as the selected class, and from this class you could just go ahead and say dot streams. As you can see, you can just go ahead and select the streams from this, and then from the streams, so you can also just like give this an empty array. So from the streams you could just say const stream options. For instance, these stream options, instead of just like doing them like this. Okay, and for, by the way, this to have something here always, I'm just going to do this, give default this to like the first item, to make sure that we always have at least a class. And so here we could just say stream options, these ones. I'm just going to remove these. Okay, I'm just going to remove these. Let's go ahead and define them here. So stream options would be getting the streams. Okay, and then we map them. We also access an item, and then I would want to go ahead and return label and value. So the label would be item dot. So if you just say here we have this title, and then value to be the ID. So item dot ID, something like this. So if I just go and check here, I would just go ahead and say here these are going to be stream options, just like this. Now this one is just going to work like for the first instance, I believe. So if I just go here and I choose for instance S1, now S1, you can see we have 1A, 1B, 1C. So this is good. The problem is that if we change to this, we change it to class, let's say another one which has the classes, maybe class what? I just want to see the one which has like under academic. Just right click and open this in a new tab. Okay, so you can see S1, and okay, class 6 for instance has 3 streams. So if you just come here and you just like choose class 6, the problem is that these ones, oh, actually it updates, guys. This is really cool. I thought it won't update. Okay, so this is good. Class 5, and then you go to this, you have 5A and 5B. So that's really nice. Just go to 1, and we have 1A, 1B, 1C. So the problem solved. I thought would have to go ahead and do go into the details of these to extrapolate, but it comes out every time you do this, it calculates again. Okay, and then we have these ones matching. So this is really nice right now. So the classes, we are really good. What is remaining right now is working on the parent, and we already have this form of the parent working. There is one thing we're going to do magically at the end. I don't know if it is going to be in this video or in the next video, but we need to go ahead and connect them to the school. We haven't connected anything to the school, but I just like be enjoying right now just creating this data into the DB. We'll actually delete all this data to connect it to a school, or we'll manually just connect it. Okay, so right now we need to get all this information, and then we go ahead and save it inside this, and I guess this is under this one here where we have users. We'll have like the parents and the teachers, and under these users we have the secretaries and maybe what we'll see. So right now, what I just want is to go ahead and work on to this one. We save it in the database. So the first thing is to come up with its the first thing is to first come up with the types. Those ones are going to be really important, and then from types we are going to come up with the we'll come up with the models. Okay, so let me just go ahead and where do I have the parent form? So you can say parent, the parent form here. Okay, let's see what do we have this side. Okay, what do we have this side? The titles and everything. The class, contact methods, and all these. Do we need streams this side? I don't think so. So this side you can just like remove the streams. Okay, just remove these ones. Okay, so I just want to create the types, that's all. I really want to create the types. Okay, so this is going to be the parent props, and these ones are not defined anywhere, so I'm just going to go ahead and create these parent props. So it's just going to be maybe here parent parent props. Okay, so parent props, you could just go here and let's go and update these parent props. Okay, just go ahead and just talk about these props. So I'm just going to use this. First one is the title. So we could just go ahead and just define the title, which is going to be a string. Okay, it's going to be a title string, first name, last name. So it's going to have first name, and then we'll have last name, and then we'll have the relationship. We'll have relation. Like, do we have relationship here? I think like the relationship is that side of the student. Let me just see. I think the students are the ones need is to have the relationship. When you are creating a parent, you don't need a relationship. Yeah, so this select parent. I think the relationship supposed to be, oh, okay. It is true. Actually, the relationship has to be on the parent. Like, is it the father, the guardian, or anything? Yeah. So just like add that. I'm just going to say relationship. Relationship. Okay. Then we have national ID. I'm just going to name this one as NIN. National ID. It's just like maybe put it in the capital. National ID. and then we have gender. So you could just say gender, which is also a string. And then we have date of birth, so you say DOB. We have the phone and nationality. So we have here the phone, and then we have nationality, and then we have phone repeated twice. We have it here and here, so just have to remove it in one place. Okay, let's go to the form. Let's try to remove it in one place. Okay, so we also have it here. We could just change this one to use 2 here instead of 3. So I just removed this one. Okay, of course we have the email. Just go back because this is going to help us. We need to define the types. Phone, nationality, then we have the email. So you can just come here and say email. Oh, email is already there. Okay, then we have WhatsApp number. So we have WhatsApp number. Okay, and then preferred contact method. This is also going to be a string. Contact method. Contact method. Okay, and then occupation address. So we have occupation, and then we have also address. Okay, and then we have, of course, the password. Okay, so we have finally the password. Okay, I think this is all that we need. We can just confirm these are 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we have 16 fields. Okay, you can just go roughly and confirm, but I guess we have everything captured at this point. So the only thing I'm just going to try to do right now is actually just go ahead and see if we can create the types. So not types, but create actually. So I'm just going to copy this. I want to create a model out of this. And just go here and cloud. I'm just going to open a new chat. I'm just going to say create for me a Prisma model. Okay, with a table name of parents for these like for these types. Just going to paste here the type, and let's just go ahead and create for us the Prisma model. And this is like the first step in doing this. You have the types, the create types, and then from this we can just get this. So don't forget, these ones goes to these ones, they will go to our API. So I have also the API open here, and you just go to, okay, you can just go to the schema here, and let's go ahead and add the parents just like this. They have the ID, which is actually the CUID, good title, first name, last name, relationship, email, and name. You can see it made them unique because we'll be using these ones. You can find a parent by these two. Even the phone, we could just actually also make the phone number unique. Okay, like there is no one who can have a phone, so you can just also make a phone number unique. Okay, so that's good, and that's good. We have this one created. You can also bring the types. So you can see we have two types of types here. As you can see, we have the always the create, and then we have, so these ones we gave these ones. If we're just going to get this one, are the create types. So you can just say parent create types. So here you see we have the parent props, and we could also just have parent create in the API. Paste this. This is the create information we need to send. So this can be like parent create props. So this is just going to help us create the parent as with this data. Okay, so what else do we need to do after creating all this? We can decide from their side and or this side, it doesn't matter. So you can just like prepare the API for this to receive this data. And where do we start from? We have a list. We can start by pushing. So you can just go ahead and migrate or push the schema by just running npx prisma db push. So this should just like push our stuff, like our schema, and update it. Okay, so you can see it is contacting Postgres at Neon, and then from there we'll have our data, our schema updated. Okay, you can just leave this one here and running generate. It generates a new Prisma client for us, and then we can just say npm run dev. Okay, let's just go under. I'm just going to go, where do I need to go? At this point, this is why I started getting lost. Okay, so you could just start with the routes. So you can just come here and create the routes. So I will just also duplicate the one for schools. It looks easy. And I'm just going to rename this one to parents. Don't forget. And then here just going to have the parent router. So just you can just call this, and let's rename this to, okay, let me first name this to parent router, and I just get this, and I can just duplicate this like so. And then so we have the parent router. This is going to be parents. This is going to be also parents, and now we can just go ahead and create parent and get parents. So if you just go to get parents, which is like on this where we have this in this one, so I'm just going to duplicate instead the one for this, because this one we have it, I think it is this one where we have it typed. Okay, we have this type safe. I really like this. So you could do this. One of these will work. You can just go ahead and duplicate this, and let me just also name it to parents. Okay, and this is going to be create parent, and now we have now our create. So just say here parent create. I just call this, like I just say parent create props, parent create props, and this is just going to give us the data we just get from here. You can see now all this is going to be receiving this, and basically the two things or the three things we need to get out of this is nin. So we need a nin, we need the phone, and the email. The reason why we need these ones out is we're just going to see check if these checks. Okay, so you can just say existing email. So this one's going to be db.parent. Okay, and then existing nin. Okay, so this is going to be here parent. Okay, parent dot find unique where, and then here we pass in nin, and finally I just going to say existing phone, existing phone, something like this. It's going to be parent find and where phone. Now we can just like bring this existing nin, let's say existing nin or email or existing phone, and here you can just like say parent with those details is already existing. So we have already, so you can just say here parent with parent already exists. Okay, just like you just like give like specific errors if you want. You give for this, or for this, or you could just like put them like this. Maybe I don't know which one is better, to do 3 if statements or to do one that is general. Maybe just to help the person whoever is on the parent disk, because normally this is you find a person is on the parent disk, so you can just like duplicate this 3 times, 2 3, and let's choose the first one, nin here. So you could just say existing nin, and you say parent with this nin already exists, with this nin on with this nin already exists. So just like this, and I'm just going to copy this. So the second one is going to be email, and you could just like just give this parent with, so this with this. So you could just say with this email already exists, and then the lastly phone. So just do this. As we said, we're just going to work on with this. Okay, so now here you can say new parent is db.parent, and then created I see here parent and new parent dot maybe first name, and then here just have to have new parent. Okay, that's good. So we did have all those checks, and now we can just come here. Contacts is so you can just say get, since earlier you could just say get parents, and the way this is going to be parents, going to be parent here, and then similarly we're just going to return parents, and that sounds great. Okay, so that's good. So what I need to do right now is to connect these ones to our routes. So you just have here create parent, and then these ones are going to be get parents. Okay, get parents, and then you could just go ahead and remove this route. No longer need this one. So this should now actually create just what remaining is one thing, connecting it here, and I can just go here down, and I just going to say the parent router. So this connects it on the endpoints to be accessible. So now we can just go back to our UI this side. In the form, we have the parent props. Now the only thing we need to do is get the data. Okay, so we start first of all with the readily available data. Here I'm just going to put like first name. We'll of course work on this when we're working on the edit functionality, don't mind, but we'll work on this. The default values, they will be making much more sense at that point, you will see. One thing we forgot actually to add, no, this is really not good. We forgot one thing, and how could we forget that? The profile image. Okay, so I'm just going to say here profile image, which is also a string. So now this is going to, the good thing, we're going to have a default for this. I don't know if we already have like a default image. I will show you how to get a default image for this, so we don't have to worry. We just actually go ahead and put the default for like a teacher. I'll get the URL, and I will just go ahead and add it there. So we need to add this. Okay, so the profile image, I'm just going to go ahead, go back to the API, and the only place we just need to change is just add it here. Oh, we actually have the image URL. Oh, great. We have the image URL, guys. We already have it. I was going to say, like, why? How can we forget the image? So we already have the image. Really nice. Okay, so I was wondering, we already have the image. I was going to like, what? Why? How could we miss that? Okay, so now what we need to do is get this data in here. Okay, so right now let's see how much data do we need. And by the way, there is a check we are going to add on emails. we'll add a check on image later on if I remember. Oh, we need a parent. We need a parent, guys. We also record the parents. Okay, I think it's this side. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and inspect. Okay, it's nice and responsive. Are you seeing that, guys? So I'm just going to go ahead and add in all this data. Of course, select the title here, Mr. Parent. So all these, some of these ones are not actually just like, I want to show you in the data that some of these are not really like, we need to go ahead and add the ones which are missing. So if right now I do this, go ahead and clear this, and let's go ahead and submit. Of course, the password, we're just going to put this one, and this is save. And you can see we have already some data. We even have a name. Where do we find the name? We have first, last name, and name. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in some things that are not right now there. Okay. Okay, so let's add the ones that are missing. So if you just go here, for instance, you see that the title is not included, so you can just go and start by that. So you can just come here and you see that, for instance, you can see that data dot title is going to be equal to selected title dot value. For this case, whether you put value and or you put whether you put value or you put, because if you just look at the, for instance, the titles, you will just notice that the labels and the value are exactly the same. So if you just like have these the titles, you could just like have the same thing. Okay, so next, if you check also first name, we have the first name, last name registered very nicely. We don't have the relationship, so you can just also just add the relationship. So data dot relationship is equal to selected relationship dot value. So similarly on the relationships, if I can just go here in the relationships, you can see them here that they are the same label and value. Okay, great. Next, so next is national ID. So let's just see here. Yeah, we have the name. Okay, and then gender. So if you check here, we don't have the gender. So I'm just going to go back here in the data, so you can just see data dot gender is going to be selected gender dot value. So similarly, this you don't have to worry. And I guess all these ones we give them default values. We have to, let me just like, we have to confirm and make sure like all these have some default values. Okay, like these, they since they are all required, you need to make sure that all of them they actually have default values. let's say for instance selected gender, you would just actually have for instance genders. So I'm just going to say here, for instance, genders at 0. So we need to make sure like there is something selected like method, just say contact. Contact method is at 0. And then we have the titles. So here also, instead of this, you have to say titles at 0. So you don't mind, because if it is different, the person is going to be forced to do what? Is going to be forced to actually go ahead and change. Okay, that's the advantage of that. So make sure you have at least something default, so that in any way we have something, we don't have empty values if they submit. Okay, so now next is, so we had relationship, what is gender, we have added gender, then we have date of birth, DOB is here, and then we have, and with the date of birth, I don't know, we might just we could just keep it as a string, or we'll check on that. We might just like need to convert this into the ISO format. Okay, let's just like first see what did we save this in the Prisma like. So if you just go back here to where we have like the parents, we have DOB as daytime. So this has to be in the ISO format. I think now this is why we just go to docs. Okay, and yes, we just going to check if we can see this reusable function. Yeah, I was like this. Yeah, I think just like here, convert date to ISO. So we just need this method here. Convert date to ISO. So where do I add this? In any way, why you add this doesn't actually matter. We could just like either add it to the backend, or we could just like go ahead and add it to Node.js, and specifically, for instance, while we have these parents, that means like at this point where we just get this, we could also get the for instance the DOB, and then here you will have to go and create this in the utils, and you say for instance convert date ISO, convert date to ISO .ts. This doesn't matter, just paste this, and I'm just going to go back here, and then since you have this DOB, you can just now say that data dot, so you can see dot DOB is convert to convert date to ISO of DOB, something like this. So this should just like add it, convert this, and then add it in here, and then by the time it reaches this side, we are good. Okay, so we can just like now continue with our work this side. I'm just going to go back this side, and what do we have? So you have the date of birth, the date of birth is here, and then you have the phone, then we have nationality. So just going to go ahead and add nationality. So data dot nationality is equal to selected nationality dot, now this one matters. I think this is going to be the label, because if as we did, you can see we have these ones. This is going to be the label, because just like by the country code, so it will be just the label. And then next is email, WhatsApp number. I believe this email and WhatsApp number is here. I'm not sure of the data that entered there, but I can see the keys there. Then we have occupation, and then finally we have address. So we have also address here, and then we have also the image URL. Right now it is also here, image URL. Okay, so now instead of just like the keeping like this one is going to break if this reaches if this reaches in like in the mobile app. If you had the default image in this format, this would break in the mobile app. So to make sure that we have this really working very nicely, I'm just going to go back and go to upload thing, and we need just simply upload this. So I'm just going to go to the dashboard, and I can just go here. Okay, well, we have the School Pro here, and 3 uploaded files. Let's go and see the ones that are uploaded here. School Pro game. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and upload the let me just go to this and look for this image. So I'm very sure this image is in the public. Reveal. Just like this. Images. Okay, so we have this and this one. So we just have to upload these 2 images. So here you can just, I think, drag 2 files. I'm just going to go ahead and drag these 2 files here. Upload. And I will use them just like did I just like upload them, or I clicked aside? For the school logo, I think we have it. Let me just upload only one. So I'm just going to remove this school. Okay, cool. Let me just bring them back. I'm just going to put this one we already have for the school. So drag this here and click upload. Error. So you can see even on the upload thing, they have some they have some errors here. I'm just going to try one more time. Okay, it seems like there is a problem right now. Let's just first leave that one, but when it is back and it is okay, we'll just go ahead and do that. We bring our image URL. The default one has to be an actual link. Okay, so great. So we make sure that we have all the data at this point. I'm hoping so. The password is there, so everything seems to be right. Okay, I'm just going to submit one more time and see if we have all the data. So just come here and just going to click on save. Of course, the password, I'm just going to put this, clear all the data and save. So if you just go back right now, we have name, address, DOB, email, first name, last name, gender, Image, we have nationality, occupation, password, phone, relationship, title, and WhatsApp number. So this should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. They are 15. I don't know if there is anything missing right now. I can just confirm very fast. We have the title, which should be somewhere here. Yeah, we have first name, last name, first name, last name. We have the relationship. I saw it somewhere, relationship here. And then we have national ID, which is NIN. We have the gender, and then we have date of birth. And what is? We have the phone. Where is the phone? Okay, we have the phone. We have the nationality. We have the email. And then we have the WhatsApp number, which we're just going to change to tell. And then the contact method. Where is the contact method? Okay, so the contact method, we actually don't have it. Okay, let's just add the contact method. So just come here and you say contact data.contact method is equal to selected contact. Selected method, I think, dot value. Let's confirm with this one method. Actually, yes, yeah. So for this case, they are all the same, so it doesn't matter whether you put value or not. So this is good. So I think that was the one that was only remaining, the contact method. I'll also change the WhatsApp number to have a type of tail. So just go somewhere and let's go and look for WhatsApp. So you can see here, we can change the type to tail. Okay. Good. So this is good at this point. The data seems to be right now okay. So what we need right now is to send this data for the test purposes. We have to create our two. We have to create the server actions for this because the endpoint is ready to receive data. So the next thing is right now to send this data to an endpoint and everything will be all right. So we have this and we have else, which is actually here. So I will just have to go ahead and I will just need to go ahead and create some actions for this. So I will duplicate like the admin, just like this, copy and paste. I'm just going to rename this to, I'm going to rename this to something like parents. We need to create parents and students, guys. There is no jokes. We need to get this done. We have to get this done. So here I'm just going to say create parent, which takes in the parent props. Here you have them as parent props. And then we have the await API. This is going to be parents and takes in the data. Then the response fed to create parent. And then here deleted parent We haven't added that functionality, but we need to get here, get all parents. Okay, and then here you have the get, which is going to be also parents, and this is going to be okay, this at this point now, if you're just going to check this one, it has the ID, so we need to have something also like this one. So basically what you do is in the types, okay, you would just go and get the types in the parent form. Okay, you would just go and get these ones, the create ones. So you could just like modify these. So I'm just going to copy this one and just go back to the types, and down here you just need to paste this. Now you add only two things: the created at, okay, and then you also add the ID, which is a string, I believe. So just add here the ID, and these ones are just going to be the parent, just like this. And now if we just come back to the parents here, so this comes with the parent. This is good because we want to have the types all over. So this is going to be parents. Okay. So yeah, we have these two. We should be able to use now this create parent to send the data to the API. So you can just go to this parent form and down to where we have the create. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and comment all this. Let me just comment all this. I'm just going to say const response is going to go this response is equal to, so this is going to be create parent. Okay, set loading to false, and then toast successfully created. Now the image and routing, right now I'm just going to first leave these ones just like this. We need to first test this one out if it works. Okay, this looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and send the data for testing. And for testing, I'm just going to go to this side we can just duplicate. Okay, so since we have this users thing, I will just actually duplicate this, and I'll create duplicate. I will name this one to users, and inside I will be just like get parents. So it's going to be like get parents, and these ones, they will be hitting endpoint of parents. If you just do this, you can also go ahead and save this. This should just give us an empty array to show you that this works. Okay, so you can see it gives us that, and then this one is going to be maybe students or something. Get students, because after this we are going straight to the students and fetching them. Okay, let's start with the parents. I'm just going to send the data and see. just use fake filler, and we should just have all the necessary data. Go ahead and click on save parent. Okay, let's just go here and put login at 2024 for now. Save. So now this should just like really send the data to the API. Successfully created. The easy way to test is by Postman. Just click here, fetch, and voila, we have our first parent in the house. This is really nice. Okay, we have all the information. I want to see the DOB, and you can see also the date was really worked upon. We have all these, the phone numbers, and everything looks really nice. Okay, I need to create the second one, and then we work on the data table for this, for the parents. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and also fake field. Let's create another one. Pamela Henry. Maybe we just say this is a mother, and then here we choose Mrs. Okay, and now I don't know for the image. To check for the image, I just simply want to make sure that on the image, what is the image? We have this parent profile image. I think the endpoints. The way I show the upload thing, but let's just try. I'm just going to try here. Login 2025. I will try to upload a different image. We see what actually happens. Now for this case, I don't know where I'm going to get the images, but let me just try to get medium icons so they can see this. Okay, we'll just like add this one for now. We'll see if this can upload. As we saw, upload thing was on a strike. Might just, yeah, you can see because we tried actually to upload the actual one on upload thing itself, it refuses. So I think upload thing right now is down. So that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and create this, and then we fetch the data back. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create the second one. Save parent created. So right now we should just have two parents. Send. Okay, so you have this one, Mrs. Pamela. Okay, so now with that, I just want to fetch this data back, and we put it in the data table. And also right now what we're just going to do is, after creating, we're just going to go to the parents. So we can just activate this router. So this will be going to dashboard, dashboard users, and then like parents. Actually, that is the actual route, or just check the route. Dashboard for the parents, users, then parents. Yeah, this is what we want to route after creating. Let's create this third one. I'm just going to do fake field, Turner Mills. I don't know if this is maybe a Mr. or Mrs. Turner. I don't know. Let's say Guardian. For this date of birth, nationality, you can check and put any other country, and then the phone, email, just to have some different things. Okay, I will just go ahead and create and see if this is going to route. So it creates. Wait. Okay, successfully created, and now we expect it to route. Yeah, so you can see it has routed to this point. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now, bring exactly what we did for the contacts. It's what we're just going to put in this. We need the columns and the page. So if you check in the page, we have only this, and if we check the columns, we have nothing. So I will just go to the admin contacts and first get the things inside here and paste them in here. Okay, so the first thing I'm just going to do, of course, also bring these, bring the columns. So just go here and bring these columns. I'm just going to do this. Copy the columns. Okay, go to the columns, copy everything, bring it to these columns, just like this. So within this one, let's go ahead and start just like I'm just going to go here and say users get all users. Oh, get all parents. What am I doing? This is supposed to be parents. Parents await, and then we get all the parents. Then we say here parents, add parents, and then this href, if you just see this one, is href for creating a new parent. So just put slash dashboard slash user slash parents slash new. Okay, then this one of course is going to be the parents, and the model is going to be parent, and then here of course is going to be also parents. Now we're just going to go ahead and work on the columns. On this side we are done. We just need to go and work on how the columns they have to look. So the first thing in the columns you need to update is going to be this here, the types. You just have to come and input, for instance, parent. Okay, so here we just of course going to have this concatenate this one right now, the first name and last name. We'll concatenate them here. So this is going to be, for instance, first name, and then just put space, add the last name. We'll put the image in a second, but let's just go here and do this last name. And then of course here we just have to put the email. Okay, and then we have also this, while we have the email and phone. In fact here we just like put the relationship. I'm just going to say contact dot I guess I could name this to parent to make sense. Parent, and even here is going to be, so this is going to be parent dot okay. Let's continue. I think I was sipping some water. Okay, so we have parent first name, last name. Okay, so here I want to just put parent dot relationship, just like that, and then down here we leave it on this. I'm just going to change it to parent, So that is going to remain. Then country, this is going to be nationality. And then for, okay, so we are going to create the model for this. So we had the contact model for the contacts. We need to create the one for the parents, right? So we're just going to create one for the parents. So I'm just going to use v0 for that. So how I do it is that you could just either go here and get the types. So if I just go to the types, we could just get these types. The parent, for instance. So I'm just going to say here, I will just open v0 and first do this. I'm just going to say create. Create for me a beautiful responsive model. Okay. That will hold the data info for a parent with these details from these types. So just going to give these types here. It will try to figure it out here. Now this is going to say national ID stroke passport. I will just do this. Okay, ID, national ID stroke passport. Yes, I just wanted to get what I'm trying to say here. What it is not anything that is not clear here. You have to help it so that it can just get how to do this nicely. Okay, I think others are ready, so we don't need the password. Okay, so in this data, we'll hide the password back. We'll not be returning this back to this. I will show you how. But for now, let's just go ahead and see if it can just create for us a responsive pop-up model for to hold this information. Okay, to hold this information. Yeah, so wow, so I like this. Like this right now. This is how they improved the steps. Are you seeing this? This is nice. Generating app dot this. Oh, okay. So they are using it. This time they are generating the whole entire app, and they have added deploy. I think this is a pressure from. Board, because like board it does this. Okay, so right now, nice. Wow, look at that. That is really nice. Okay, like the responsive wise. Okay, so for us it is to enjoy. You can see it created the whole entire app. By the way, like look at this. This is really good. Okay, at this point, I will say like this is really great. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this inside. So where do we have our models? I feel like we should just like put these things together. component dashboard. So this is where we had like the parent forms. I'm not sure where we put the parent. I will look for it, but I'm just going to go here in the dashboard. We just put a folders for the models. Okay, because just like to put them here. So this is parent info model, parent info model .tsx. Guys, I love this. I'm loving this right now. So we have this. It seems like everything looks good. Okay, so now this parent thing right now, we don't need even to get it from here because we already have this parent. This parent, we already have this from the types, just like that. And we can just correct why we have this parent dot this. This is supposed to be parent dot nin, just like that. Great. So now we just need to call this parent info model, and then we give it the data. So if you just go back to columns where we have this, and by the way, we can also follow this. I want to move this. Where is this? Okay, I put it in the columns for some reason. It is in the columns. Let me first leave it there. I will not start a war, but all the models, we're going to be putting them together. So I'm just going to just come here and I say parent info model. And now we just give it, it will take in, if you just hover here, it takes in the parent. So here, parent, which is this. I think at this point we have everything we need. We should be able to see it on the UI users parents. Okay, yep. So this looks good. We need to add the image here. Okay, so I'm just going to go and edit this, and I add the on this column where we have this one now, we're just going to change it a little bit. So where we have this one, so these have to be again together, but then I'm just going to create one with a flex where we have the image. So you can just say image, or you could just even call the image column, I don't know, and we give it the image, but I'm just going to say image from next image. Okay, just to make sure this comes from the next image. We'll have source alt, which should just also come from parent parent dot first name, for instance, and then here image alt, we'll give it a width of 512, and height, I also give it height of 512, and then I will give it a class name. Maybe for now let's give it width of 32, and here I'm just going to, so on this down here I'm just going to add this div. For this one I'm just going to give it parent dot image URL, as simple as that. And now this one we just need to give it class name of also height 32 and rounded full. Okay, we can just see if this is huge or small. Okay, so that is extremely huge. So let's try 14 or 12. Okay, so maybe let's try actually 10. Okay, I think 10 is okay. We just need to only work with items, center, and a gap of 1. I think this should just work fine. Yeah, so this looks really fine. Okay. Now let's go and look at this. Okay, look at this. We have the email, phone, WhatsApp, gender. Okay, I think we could just like do with much more width here. So let's just like look into it. I'm just going to go into this. Where am I right now? I'm lost. Just need to find the column for the parent info model. It should be given, maybe it has this, this max width. I'm just going to try, let's try 800 pixels. Okay, just do this. Yeah, so you can see right now it has all this parent information, and it is really looking, it has all we need: the email, WhatsApp number, date of birth, and then we have this, of course, the national ID stroke passport, and then we have the preferred contact, then the nationality, gender, address, the day was created, and the day was updated. So this looks great. We forgot to say that to add the buttons. I'm just going to state it one more thing. I will not just even say add the buttons for edit and delete. Okay, and also increase the max width, increase the max width to 800 pixels. So just like see if you're just going to make those changes. I'm just like happy that they finally brought this, whereby you can build the site, and then you can just go ahead and do this. And this is, I think, from, as I've said, from board, because board you can just create and deploy right away. You don't need to even download the code. Okay, so I like the fact that this looks great really on the phone. They have even put like a scroll on this. Okay, just get the code, and where am I putting this? It is in here like this, and I'm just going to remove this. Oh, okay, I'm just going to get the right code just in this. Okay, just going to remove everything and add this. So here we just need to change the type, and for this parent, and then there is one error here we have to fix by putting the value is info.nin. Jesus, what's going on, guys? Okay, look for where there is this, and just want to simply remove this, and it's going to be parent.name. Okay, so we should have now with the button, everything should just remain exactly, but right now we have also this edit and delete, which is really great. Okay, so that's good. So far so good. And we have also the search functionality going on. Irrespective of how this data is organized, we should be able to search. If I search, for instance, diva, so you can see it brings diva. If I say Pamera, so you can see the search really works. And of course you have the countries here, and then we have the view. So this is looking great. So right now at this point, I'm just going to move right to, I'm just going to move right to the students. First get all these parents. So what we just need to get into is go to the directory for the students. That is students new. We have to fetch all the parents and bring them in. So we have classes, and then we have here just like the parents, and just here just going to be get or parents. Okay, so we have all the parents, and just going to pass these parents into this. So just pass here parents. So when you just go this side, we should just receive the parents. So just go here where we have this. I'm just going to duplicate it, and I have parents, and there's going to be parent from the types, and then down here is going to be also parents, just like this. So we can just like say these ones become parent options. Okay, so we want the parents in this format. Since we just are not having anything as such, we're just going to go ahead and manipulate this one, this very one here. So what we can do is we're just going to say parents dot map. So we have now access to a single parent. You can just go and say return, and I just want to return label, which is parent dot. So this is just going to concatenate the first name and last name. So to do this fairly, we have to use the backticks, and then we put first name parent dot first name parent dot first name, and then we put space dollar parent dot last name, and now down here we just put value, which is going to be parent dot id. So this we put id just like so, and with just that we just need to just update here, and we put parent options. Okay, parents options or parent options. Just rename this. Okay, so if we just go back here in the create student, so if I just go here, sorry, not that, just go student directory, new student. Oh, okay, so in the new student we have an error. Parents.map is not a function. Okay, so it seems like we still have something to do here. Oh, parents is equal to parents. Okay, so these are, I guess, mistakes you can easily make, and I think that should fix it. And just refresh the page. Okay, so now if we check the parents, now you can see we have all the parents. So now we can be able or successfully try actually to create a student. Okay, we have all it takes right now to get the student information into our database. And if we do this and we do the data table for the students, would have done a great job. And we still have some time. I think this is going to be like 2 hours and plus, but it's worth it. Let's just get into it right away. So I'm just going to start by creating the types. You know what I always do. So we just want to start by creating the types. So go to the student's new page, and just we want to go to the student form, and we have the student props here that they are using down here. So I'm just going to start populating these ones from the form the way I see them. I believe you're also getting the technique. You don't need stress, just look at the form. I start by designing the form, all the information I need, then create the types, and then from there you just actually move on to the data. So we have first name, last name, and the email. So as usual, so normally I'm just going to show you, we can also just leave this name there, and then we also have first name and last name. We're just going to see, sometimes you're going to be using like a full name most of the times, and if you already have like the name, you don't need to go ahead and be concatenating all the time. So you can also just like add the name there. So here string, and then we have last name, which is also a string. Okay, so then you can see we have the email. Okay, now here we have the parent ID. I'm just going to see parent. Here is going to have parent ID, which is going to be a string. So you save the parent ID, and then we have the class ID. Okay, so we have the class ID, which is going to be also a string, and then we're just going to have the stream ID, which is also going to be a string. And then we have, of course, so your parent ID, stream, class ID, stream ID. Then we have phone, nationality. So we have password, image. So just go here and just say nationality, which is a string. Phone, and then okay, do we have the phone? Okay, just like add the phone, which is a string also. And then we have, of course, password, which we have already put. Then we have the state of village. So this is going to be state. This is going to be a string. Birth certificate. I don't know now what we added on that. Birth certificate number. This is going to be a string. So we check what we added on this. We could just like just name this as BCN, birth certificate number. BCN. Okay. Then religion, which is going to also be a string. Religion is a string. Then we have gender, date of birth. So we have here gender. Okay, then we have DOB. It's going to be a string. So religion, gender. So here's gender, religion, and then we have the roll number. So roll number, which is going to be also a string. We have the reg number, so this is going to be reg number, which is also a string. Okay, then we have the admission date. So admission date, which is going to be a string. We have the student profile, and then we have this address. So we have the address, which is going to be a string, and that's all. That's all we need. I'm just going to confirm with some of these keys that I have named. Just not to be surprised in the form, you can just like move quickly. See, we have first name, last name, email. Of course, for these ones, they are okay. Then we have the phone, and then nationality. Then they have the password, and you have the state. So you can see this one, we have state, which should be the state. And then you can see birth certificate number. We have BCN. Then we have religion. Then we have gender, date of birth, and we have your roll number. And then we have the reg number. Then we have the admission date. So this one, since this is supposed to be type of date, date. And then we have address. So I think everything right now is good. So it's now to go ahead and use that, and we create. I'm just going to use this to go ahead and create. So I will use this type to go ahead and create for me the student. So just copy this. Okay. What do we need? We need to create this. So I'm just going to say here, create for me the Prisma model for student, with these types. So let's just like it will just go ahead and create for us the model. So you can see here we have also a couple of unique things here, the roll number, reg, and all those ones. Then we have, of course, the relationships. I'm just going to copy this, and let's go ahead, we work on the relationship. So just go to the API where we have this. I'm just going to go here and paste this. Okay, so first of all, let's go and put the ones that are direct. We have the ID, name, and everything. Email is going to be unique. And then the phone, of course, for the student, they can be not knowing or having the phone. Okay, so we'll see actually to make things optional, because like the phone and the image is very obvious that the student might not be having at the point of registration. Then the state, then we have the birth certificate number. You can see it identified it, BCN. And then the reg number. And now we have the relationship. For instance, for the parent, this is a one-to-many. All of them are one-to-many. A student can belong to, a parent can have many students, and all students should have to belong to a certain parent. And as well as the classes and the streams, a student can belong a class can have many students, and each student must belong to a certain class or stream. So this is a typical one-to-many, and the only thing you just like to put this parent ID, class ID, and the stream ID, and then simply go to, for instance, to the parent model and just like add the student. So we already have this, for instance, for the parent on top here. Simply down here, add for the relationship, you just simply add that it has students, just like that. And then similarly, you do the same thing to the class, just simply add this to all of them. They have the same relationship. So I'm just going to go here to parent. So you have the stream. A stream has students, and also a class has students, just like this. And great. So the only thing we just need to do is make sure that the key is okay, students, and is of students. And now we can just go ahead and push this. I'm just going to say stop the server and just run npx npx prisma db push and npm run dev. Okay, so this is going to go ahead and push our things. So as we are doing this, we're just going to go ahead and start working on the form and preparing everything. So as we know very well in this, as this is doing this whole thing, generating the prisma and so on, we can start by going to the routes. So we have the parents, duplicate this, and let's make them students, just like this. Okay, and then here instead we're just going to have a student router. So student router, just copy this like this, and then of course this is going to be students, and this is going to be students. Okay, so we just need to go ahead and create this. While we have this create parent, we just also go in this side like this, and we'll have this students. So we can just like start by bringing in the types that we had. So these types we have for student props, they're going to become the student create props. So I'm just going to go to back here and just go to types, and then we're just going to paste in here, and we'll have student create props. And now this is what you're just going to use in the controller here. So create student, so in here just going to have create student, and this is going to be student create props. And now for the things we have that are unique, if you just go back here, just a second, yeah, for these ones we have the BCN, so we can just identify the BCN, reg number, and the roll number. I don't know if we like didn't use the roll number. Okay, so unique. So you can see we have three unique things: the email, BCN, roll, and reg. So if I just go back, okay, so I think I made a mistake here. Did I? Oh. Okay, wait a second. We duplicated for the student, which is this one. You should just like have student create props. Okay, and then let's see here. Did I change anything here? Okay, I also changed this So you create parent. Okay, to avoid issues. So here is going to be create student, and then this student create, and now here we have BCN, and we have email, reg, and I think roll number. These, I think, are the unique ones, I believe. Reg and roll, you can see them, they're unique. Okay, so we can also abstract the DOB. Actually, we have the DOB, and we add it in here, which is great. So we have exist by email. We just say here student. So email. Now here just going to have existing BCN, and this is going to be student. Find unique, I will pass in BCN, and existing phone parent, this is student. And this is going to be not phone, but instead, let me see, email is going to be reg number. So here we can just try reg student, and this is going to be reg. And finally, the fourth one, which is going to be the roll number. So here roll. Okay, then we can just now start existing BCN student with this birth certificate number already exists. So do the email student with this email, and then here we have existing like reg number student with this reg number already exists, and then finally we have existing roll number. So you can just come here and support student with this roll number already exists, and then here we're just going to say new student is equal to await db.student.create, and then here created successfully, we have new student dot first name, then his new student the last name, then here just a new student. Okay, so the student has been created. We can get the student, get students, and this is very easy. We just say students is equal to student here, and then we return the students. Nice. And now so I have the students. What we need is connect them now back here to the students. So here is going to be create student, and then here is going to be create get students. You can just go ahead and remove the parent thing here. Okay, great. So now this is very ready. If we just go to this here, I'm just going to put students, change this to students. Okay, we haven't connected the we haven't connected this in the index, so just go here and add students router. Okay, so now if I just go back here, ask for the students, we should just now be able to get an empty array. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to this site where we have fetched everything right now, working correctly right now. So what we need right now is to generate all the data we need in an object. This one also takes time, but let's be cool with it and let's go. And also we'll make sure that we have the default values to avoid submitting without anything. Okay, like these streams and everything, we could just like have some default values, if you may say. The reason why I like the default values is that you don't have an detected bugs or anything, or you just like have to force this person to select the student, or like the parents. I don't know, like for now they selected parent classes. Okay, for classes we get the first one, and then for the stream could just have like stream options. That's 0. Gender, here's going to be genders at 0. The country is okay. Then religion, so like religions, and then we select the first one. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and start composing whatever we have. So if I just go right now, use a fake filler, and then try to submit, of course, the student password. Okay, so if I just go ahead and try to submit this, you will see that we have few details here, like the BCN address, DOB first, and so we have these ones right now, roll number and everything. So what I just need to do right now is making sure we go step by step. For instance, the first name, last name, email, those ones we have them first, email and last name. Where is it? Okay, last name is here. And then there is parent. Okay, so let's add the parent ID, the class ID and those. So just come here. So just going to say data dot parent ID is going to equal to selected selected parent dot value. Data dot class ID is going to be equal to selected class dot value, and then we have data dot stream ID is going to be equal to selected the stream also dot value. Okay, so those three has been added: parent, class, and stream. Phone. So we have nationality, so we can just like data dot nationality, data dot nationality. For the name, actually we can just say data dot name. We can just say create this from data dot first name and data dot last name. So this will create just like a name, and then nationality is going to be equal selected nationality dot label. So this one is going to be a label. So let's continue. So we have the password. I think the password was already there. Let me see. Yes, password is already there. Then we have the state. Yes, the state is there. BCN, yes. And then we have religion. So let's add religion. Data dot religion is equal to selected religion dot value. Okay, and then we have gender. Okay, so data dot gender is equal to selected gender dot value. Okay, the gender, then DOB, roll number, region number, admission date, address, and student profile image, which is actually the image URL. So this right now we are good. Okay, this should be the information we need to send to the entire API. So one thing I just need to confirm is, anyways, the name is there. So we need to go ahead, now that we have created this, our data is good, we just go ahead and create this. So I'm just going to duplicate. You can duplicate the parents here, and just name this one to students. And you know, these have actions, they will still work in the mobile app. We'll have the actions like these ones, and they will be working still like exactly the same way. So I'm just going to go here and say this, create student data dot student props. Okay, and so it is response API, and this is going to be the students, and then response to the data fetch create student. Similarly, this is going to be delete student. Of course, we'll create these ones, don't need to worry. So get student, get all students, and this is going to be also students, parents. So these are like students, and now we have to go ahead and create the types. So you can just go to the types at this point, types. When you just go type, just simply need to go to the student form and get these types on top here. Okay, these ones, and let's go to types. So they will just be exactly the same, just like this. Just going to name this one as student. One thing we just need to add is going to be the ID, and then we need to add these two, which is going to be the string, these ones. So at the bottom, just add these two. So when you come back in the actions, so these are going to be students, and it's going to be student, just like this. Okay, so this is great. We have all the necessary tools. What is remaining right now is actually testing out. So I'm just going to refresh, test out the data that we have, all the required data, and just going to click on this. Okay, there is where we have select streams. Okay, so for the Of course, the streams you have to select like this. Okay. I like the fact that I'm really happy that you just like change this, and then here it changes to these ones. Okay, so great. Just going to go ahead and just change to S1, and then change this one to S1. Okay, so if I just try to send this to create this data, I believe we have all the data. I'm just going to go to the form. I'm just going to call this the API endpoints. So I'm just going to send this data here. Okay, so I'm just going to say const response is equal to await, and this is going to be create student, and then successfully created. I don't want to route this point. Okay, I just want to see if something good happens. Okay, let's just go and try. So we have this, and just going to go ahead and create Cairo hood. For the parent, they just like have this. Okay, I think all the information right now is good. Roman Catholic. So the roll number and that address. I'm just going to click save. Okay, the password. Save. So this should now. Okay, so we have some problems, and you can just like fast verify on this. Class ID, DOB, email, first name, gender, image, and the parent ID, password. Okay, everything looks great except that we have an error. So you can just like check on the API to give us what went wrong. Actually, okay, so you can see the admission date, the expected the ISO format. Okay, so we didn't handle that nicely. Just come here in the controller. Okay, so it is just easy. Just extract it here from the controller as you can extract from the controller as the admission date, and then do the exact same thing here. Dot admission date is equal here admission date. So this now should just work. You see the good thing with this is that if it fails, the data actually here still remains, so we don't actually lose our data. Okay, just remove this and let's try now to make this work. Saving, please wait, and we're waiting, and still we have another error. Saying let's see here, argument oh, we have parent created successfully. I'm saying here Kyle. Oh, I think this went well, but for some reason we have an error. For some reason it brought us like we can just go ahead and fetch here the students. Yeah, we have the Cairo hood. Okay, let's just like try the second one because I don't understand what's going on. Okay, I'm just going to refresh. Everything is new right now. Just going to fake fill this. I just get a new parent, select the class. Okay, and just going to leave the phone number, the country, of course the password, and then I'm just going to leave everything right now the way they are right now. Let's try to create. Okay, successfully created. Nice. So if you just go back this side, send a request, we have 2 students. So they just create the third one and we route. So here, since now we are good, we can route to, if you look at the students there under student management, so we have dashboard students actually. So we could just say just route dashboard students, just like that, dashboard students. It will just work. Okay, so I'm just going to create the third one and we see how this is going to work. So just create Tobias, the parent. Just going to do this. Let's put this one in class 6A. And then of course, just choose another country, Algeria. And then this is going to be login 2026. Village, birth certificate number, religion, just Anglican. Let's also have a female. And then the roll number, all these ones. Everything looks good. Let's save. Okay, so you can see right now it actually redirects. Okay, so right now I'm just going to go ahead and fetch all the students here so that we have this nicely going on. Let me see the time. Okay, time is not on our side, but we're about to finish actually. So what we need is get the parents, copy the whatever is in the page, paste it in the page here, just like so, and whatever is in the columns also just copy it and paste in the columns. Okay, let's start now working on the data. So what we need to get is all students is get all students, get all students, and then here is going to be students, add student or admit student. Then this is going to be dashboard students, and then like new, then here is students, and it's going to be student, and here is students. And let's go to the columns. First of all, the most important thing is to bring here this student, and it's good that you remove all these unnecessary user info. Okay, like to increase the speed of your application. We'll check all the columns. You can just go ahead and check for these, and you also remove these ones which are not serving purpose. Okay, just now go and see. So you have a student here. Uh, then here just going to say maybe we have to get a good key there. You just say maybe student details, whatever. Just like put here on the key since we're not going to use it to fetch. So this is going to be student. Sorry, student. Okay, so here I'm just going to say dot still student, and then here we will have also the student. So basically we would want here to use a class, and so here we would want to get a stream, right? For now let's just like leave it at maybe email, but we'll change this to maybe class or stream. So here we still have also student, and we'll also change this to student. Okay, so nationality is okay, so we're just going to have this changed in a second. So we have the parent model. I want to create the one for the students, so we can just go here. I'm just going to go to actually we can just like use types. I'm just going to go back here and I go and get the types. This one is for student. Okay, go back to the v0. I will tell it to create for me the student model pop-up. Just say the student responsive model pop-up. Okay, with edit and delete buttons for a student with details of this type. So just like pasting this, we can see if we can classify birth certificate number. I guess to recognize it. I think everything looks great. Just going to remove the password, just like this. Okay, just go here and let's go ahead and create that one. So I believe it's going to create another component, maybe student info model. You can see it just generating this one. So yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so it seems like it created a new app, and it created a new app and added this one. Okay, created a new app with this. Yeah, so this looks almost the same, but it has like I think like more details. I would just say I'm just going to go to code, and just what I need is this. So copy this one and let's go to the components. I'm just going to create a new component here in the models. I'm just going to have the student info model.tsx, and then I paste this. Okay, it passes in even the on edit. I don't know if that would be necessary, because those ones will eventually be like these functions we just like handle them after passing the student ID. We can just like execute them within. We don't need to pass the actual function in here. So you can just like go ahead and remove these, and we only pass the student. Okay, so I know they must have used them somewhere here. Handle edit, you can just like also go ahead and then you can just go ahead and remove this. Okay, so basically we just get a student, and this student, instead of just like having these ones created from here, we'll just like have the student imported from types. Nice. And then now we can just go ahead and create the student info model. We can just now use it in here in the columns. Just add it here, call, and let's pass in the student just like this, and everything seems to be fine. Now we can just go on the UI and check. Okay, students, these are looking nice already. You can see the name, email, then here these are looking nice. Let's look at the student info. Okay, so this is how it looks right now. It has a scroll to make sure everything actually is visible nicely. Normally it is like you find the models not big enough to really handle like the scroll, but you have all these. We just like, instead of like putting a class, we just go ahead and get these ones. Okay, now normally what you would actually do is we could just like, because you're going to do another a serious fetch. For instance, we want to know, for instance, the class, okay, and the stream ID. Okay, we need to know this, the stream ID. We have it, but would want to get also the stream. So like we could just like save the stream and the stream ID, class and class ID. This is very important because like for instance here, we don't need to do any other further fetch that is going to be making the app slower. Okay, so that is something that a technique that you can use even on the parent ID. You can save the parent name, and so that you have like, for instance, the parent name fetched right away, that you don't need to do an extra fetch. So I'm just going to add those three so that we just have them fetched right away, so that we don't need to actually hassle with life. So I'm just going to start by going to the student form. Where is the student form? So this is the student form. I'm just going to add three things in this. Okay, I will just add in three things in this. Okay, so we have the class ID. So wherever we have, like, for instance, the parent ID, I'm just going to put the parent. Just for instance, the parent name. Okay, you don't need to put the parent because the parent can also be fetched on this. Just like put the parent name, is going to be a string, and we can also put this as maybe not required. And then we have the class, and we can also just say class, the class title or class name. So you can have class title, and just say this. And finally we have the stream. So just going to duplicate this, and we have the stream title just like this. So we have added these three things, and these are going to be helping us. Instead of doing multiple fetches, we actually have them. I always use this technique, it always works for me. So if you just go back here, we already have these. So wherever you have this parent for instance parent ID, you have dot parent name, and then here is going to be the label. Okay, label, and then the class will have the class title. So here is going to be class title, and this is also on the label. And then we have the stream. Finally, is going to be the stream title, which is also on the label. So this is good. So we have just added these three things, just like this. Now, since we have just added them there, it makes sense now to add them everywhere. So I will just go here. We have added these two, and then the third one. Just copy these. Go first of all to the types, and we see if there is anything to update in the types this side. So you can just go here where we have these and add them here. Okay, and this is what's going to be expecting to come back. And then since we have added them there, we need to update them in the API first in this here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add them here. So the parent name is going to be required. Just add it just like this. String not required. Class title, string not required. And finally we have the stream like this, string not required. So we just have added these three things right now. Okay, so there shouldn't be any other changes, I believe. So you can just go ahead and pass. Just do this. Just to push these changes through, I've just added. When it comes to these other ones, there is nothing you need to do here. This is going to be already in. If you check, okay, just find where this is. So we need to add these ones here. So that they expect that they are coming. Let's get them from the web. Copy them like this, and then so in the API we can just go ahead, not in the parent but in the student down here. It's going to add these three. So now if you just go back to the students, like in the controller student, these should be just already here. You can see we have added these three now. Okay, so now let's create another student and we see. So we shouldn't have any issues with already fetched students because this will be optional. Okay, but we just instead want to show one of these ones here. So let's go ahead and add another student. Now these students should just have now more details than the others. Let's just go ahead and do this. Fake, and just select parent, 6. Okay, and now I'm just going to remove this for student. The student form, I'm just going to remove for these streams. I'm just going to remove this. Just going to set it to null for now. Okay, so when you do that, it actually refreshes behind the scenes. So I'm just going to do this. Stream, now 1A. Select parent, which is going to be Tana. So the only thing that is very serious here right now is going to be the password, of which I cannot even find where it is located. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create this. Okay, so successfully created. You can just go see this person. Now if we just go to this side and send for students, so you can see this one has okay, you can see as the parent name, class title, and the stream. So instead of doing the fetches, if I just go back to the student info card here, okay, of course this one has already updated with the information. We have already the parent name and so on. So while we have the parent, we'll have to check for instance where we have the parent ID. So for instance where we have, for instance, here class ID label, I'm just going to say class, and I'm just going to say student dot, so I'm just going to say here if student dot dot class title is, so of course you see this one we have to sorry, to check if it is true. So yeah, they're saying that this value here, I think it just like string one defined is not. And I'm just going to say can you just like save like this? Yeah, so you could just say or, and then we just say student.id. So if it is not there, we're still going to put the class ID. So just put here the class ID, just like this. Stream, the same thing. I'm just going to check stream dot this is stream title, but if it is not there, then just going to consider student dot stream ID. And then where we have the parent, and here instead of this just going to add the stream, and then here I'm just going to say parent. Okay, and then you can just say student, and we can just like make this in the future. You can make this clickable, for instance. For now, just like a student dot parent name. You can just like add this, and then we can just say if it is not there, then put student dot parent ID. So there are the three values we wanted. So this shouldn't change anything here. If you view this, the student we created earlier, you can see it as stream parent having these ones. Okay, but if you viewed the other one, just going to go to this new one, so you can see this one has the parent, the class, and the stream. So you don't have to really do any other further fetch. By simply storing more extra values, it is more worth it than doing all the other fetch. And then here we have the student ID, which is very okay, and maybe we also have the reg number, roll number, and all these. Okay, this is great for now, really, to have this. Now the only thing is just remaining to do is connecting these to the classes, because now these by the way, here we just lack, we need to somewhere put, I think instead of these, I'm just going to add their class. So now you can see it is very easy to add the classes here, right? So you could just like go ahead, instead of just like putting the countries, we can just instead specify the class. So I'm just going to do that. Class and stream. So I will just go back to Let's go back to the columns. Okay, so just go and get this one. We called email phone. So instead of nationality, I'm just going to remove this. I'm just going to duplicate this one, and we're just going to create class something. So this is going to be class stream. So here we just need to come and here you put, for instance, student, and then here we need to add the class. So this one, just leave it the way exactly the way it is. We don't need to lowercase or anything. So here just going to say dot class title. Okay, and if it is not there, we can default it to student. Now we can actually just leave it empty instead. Okay, just default it to empty. Then here is going to be student dot stream. Okay, so this is going to be stream title, and we can also, because the IDs are really big, we not put the IDs here. Okay, so we shouldn't just have any problem right now. Okay, so you can see this one has senior 1A, which is good. Now for these ones, they don't have right now. Okay, we could just like delete these ones, but since we need the students, this is okay. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and also go and go to now connect with the academics where we have these streams. So I need now to have the actual values for these, the way you see the streams, and now we need to fetch in the class and we add those students. So the only thing we just need to do is change a little bit in our fetch. So go back to this side, and I'm just going to go to, first of all, for instance, to the classes. So where we have the fetch here down, they get classes, we're just going to go ahead also include the students, just like this. And the same thing to streams. Okay, I think even the streams are here. So the streams now, because the streams are fetched in here. If you just remember this, if you click like on senior one like this, so these are fetched from here, they are part of this. So there is no way we're just going to again do another fetch to put these ones. So that means we'll actually still go on to this one. I'm not sure if that is really acceptable. We could just go on students, and let me see, can you just like go further and no, wait, just here like this. Can you just like go inside here and you say like, for instance, students? Okay. I don't know what you get back here. If you just get the streams, we need to do a serious thing here. Really, like to be able to get these ones here, we have to do to be seriously okay. I'll just ask that one, like for instance cloud. So I just want to just say that I have this function. Just gonna say I have this this controller. Okay, so yes, we're going to just say modify it, modify it such that the streams also include students. Okay, something I'm just going to e.g. like I don't know if it e.g. instead of this I want to get also the students in the stream. Now there is another technique we could actually do, but let me see what this cloud is going to suggest. We could also just like do another technique here while we are fetching where is it this here, because all these have to be fetched from here. We are not going to do any other further fetch. We just need to do only one single fetch. Let's go and see what it did. Okay, the response will now look like this. Did it just like do what I told it to do? Okay, so it has classes ordered by this include. So it includes as a stream, and then inside the stream include the students true and the students true. That's good. Now it is saying that now the response is in this format. Okay, which is I think great because there's also the students inside, which is great. So I'm just only interested in this include here. So actually, like what we're thinking is true. So you just inside the only thing to add right now, if you just look at the include, they just simply just like added this. Okay, we just modified the include just like this. Now one thing I just need now to do, since they're like this, we need to modify a little bit when it comes to the types. So I'm just going to come here to types. Okay, more especially the one for the class. Okay, I'm just going to say, can you just like now we have to have now students is going to be student students. Now also this, I'm just going to say, for instance, this is supposed to be like student. Now this is also heavy. You can imagine the student has a lot of things. We don't need to fetch all those ones. For instance, if we wanted, we're just going to add like a button here, like view students in 1A. We could just have like that pop up and maybe or something that if we clicked on this would go to something like classes, and then we go like to 1A or something. If someone clicked on that, then we'll do a fetch that is really genuine for that. We don't need to fetch that. So right now what we need, actually, if you think about on this page, we need count. So here like we need for the student, which is the count, and even here we need only the count. So I'm just going to say can I get only the count, for instance, instead of getting all the students, the student, it will be a heavy fetch. I just only want the student counts, okay, for both in class and stream. So I could just want only the count, because just like it will just like do that whole terrible stuff. Instead, it better just does something like this. It looks really terrible here, but it really helps us to get back as fast as possible the results we want. Okay, yeah, that's what we need to do. So just say here, it increase streams, and then so let's just say the return, because even the return we are looking at the stream ID. Yeah, ID we actually need it, and then it has the count, which is an object, students in the stream, and then here the students 75, total number of students in the class. I think this is exactly what we want. So instead, I'm just going to modify it to this. So the whole entire catch block is going to be like this. Copy, let's change this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Let's see how you're going to handle this. Now I'm just going to tell it to help me and modify a little bit the types, because this looks really terrible. So can you modify these types here? Can you modify for me the types to match what is the response? Okay, just for the class, we just need to see what they type for this. Okay, so it has the class, and I'm just going to get this. Okay, we have class. So the class changes. I'm just going to comment out this one. So right now the class has this. Oh. Oh, okay. So it is ID. It has the title, the slug. Now it has the streams with count. Okay. Then here, of course, it has the count, and then down here the stream with the count. It has ID, title, slug, this, and then with the count of students. So this is the result that is coming back. So since this is updated already, that means if I go to the dashboard where we have academics classes here. So here is where we do the fetch. So if I just do this, you can see it is actually presenting the class. So going back to the class inside here, the class listing, okay, everything actually remains exactly the same. Only that now we have the count. So where we have the count, I'm just going to go there. Remember, we was putting the 40 somewhere. We'll also have the teachers in the future. So instead of these 40 students, now this is in the section. So if you just go and see section, if you just do this section dot, so you can see we have underscore count, and then like dot, students. Okay, and then just going to do this also for the teachers. I think inside here, classes, and then you have here 40. So just going to say you have the class, we are calling it class item dot, so you can see dot count dot students. Okay, great. So now with that, if we go back and we go to students, okay, the class is having an error. Let's see if we can just get this back. Yeah, so you can see like right now we have stream senior 1 has 3 streams with 3 students. Okay, and they are all in 1A. You can see 3 students, 0 0. So this makes sense. These others have 0 students, and this has this. Okay, so you can see basically we can even have entire student or in the whole school now calculated even on here if wanted. But right now this is enough. We have now the students coming back, 3 students in 1A and this. So we can in the future just like, for instance, put a button to view all students or view them, and then we go to 1A whereby we can view all the students. So we'll see how we are going to handle that. Like on this card, we can just like add a button where you can just like have the see the students only in this class. But right now we are doing good. We have these working nicely. If you just go to this stream, it has 1 student, and this is the student. Okay, great. I think we have had a lot of fun. This was really good. Finally, I wanted to deploy this on the API. Maybe we're just going to do it in the next video. As the first thing, we deploy the API on Rayleigh, and then we have it online. But otherwise, right now, this is looking great. Everything is interconnecting, guys. I love this. Okay, so if you just go to the student directory, right now you have all the students. You can search the students. If I just say Ayala, this is really nice. Okay, you can view student info. This is nice. The ID is looking really terrible. Maybe we could just like reduce the size of the ID. Okay, let me just go ahead and see if I can reduce on the student info card. The first thing here is the ID. So text muted foreground, I'm just going to give it text extra small. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to like the video. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.